Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be one of the very important videos, so make sure that you share it with your friends and family who might be planning to move to Canada or may have recently moved. Because in today's video, we are going to talk about the things that you should never do in Canada as an immigrant. So my name is NISHANT and now let's get started. The first mistake that a lot of newcomers make is not building their credit history. So a credit history is basically a financial record of how you use and manage your credit. Now when I say build your credit history, that doesn't mean that you start taking small loans, but in fact make a habit of using credit cards for most of your payments. But make sure that you are not overdoing it, because your credit history also accounts for your credit utilization, that is credit used versus your available credit limit. So spend only as much as you can repay, and make sure that you pay your credit card bills in full and on time. The better your credit history, the better would be your credit score, and a better credit score would help you get mortgage or car loans, or even like smaller things like contract based phone plans in future. Another mistake that a lot of newcomers make is that they fall into the trap of scammers. Yes, you heard it right. There are a lot of scams that happen in Canada too. In fact, much more than you could even imagine, because in Canada, there are so many immigrants who land every year, and these immigrants are always the soft targets for these scammers, because as immigrants, we are anyways a little scared when we land into a completely new country. We are unaware of a lot of rules, regulations, and policies, and this is what these scammers take benefit of. In fact, when we landed back in 2019, and as soon as we took our Canadian SIMs, from the very next day, we also started getting calls from these scammers saying that, hey, we are calling from CRA. There has been a fraud reported on your SIM number. Please call us back on this number, else police will be at your doorstep and will arrest you. Now think about it. You are just a day or two old in a completely new country and you start getting such calls. Obviously, anyone would get scared, and that is why a lot of newcomers fall into the trap of scammers and end up losing a lot of money and the savings that they brought from their home country. So be aware that if there is actually anything serious, then you will be receiving an official letter from the authorities. But no CRA or police is going to call you, especially with an automated voice, asking you to call back, else we will arrest you. That's not going to happen. The next thing that I'm going to discuss is a little controversial, and I know there would be some people who would differ with me, and that is completely fine. But in my opinion, another mistake that a lot of newcomers make is that they try to settle in an area where they are surrounded by people from their own community. Why I think it's a mistake is because if you're surrounded by the same community, then it will take you much longer to adapt to this new culture, to this new country, to this new environment where you might have to speak in English very frequently. And not just for you, in fact, for your kids. Because I know like 90% of the people that I speak to, they always say that we want to move to Canada for a better future for our kids. But then you're bringing your kids to Canada, taking 10, 15, 20 hours of flight, but then making them stay within the same community, right? Okay, they are going to school in Canada, but probably more than 50, 60, 70% of students in their class are from the same community. Then how do you think they will grow, right? In fact, the kids will also take much longer to adapt to this new country. So if you want to grow, if you want your kids to adapt much faster, then you have to come out of your comfort zone and you have to embrace this multiculturalism of Canada. Another mistake that a lot of newcomers, especially international students, make is that they get influenced by other students who are buying expensive cars like Dodge Challenger, Ford Mustang, and even like expensive iPhones like iPhone 14 Pro Max Plus, etc. Right? So when these international students see other students buying these expensive stuff, they also get that inferiority complex, and they also end up making such big purchases without even thinking that they would just end up paying EMIs which can go as high as $1,000 or $1,200 per month, or even more than that. Right? So you can easily save that money if you don't make this mistake and try to avoid buying a car like for as long as you can. Now, I'm not saying that you should never buy one, because in fact, I also believe that to enjoy life in Canada to the fullest, car becomes a necessity at some point. Now that we are talking about cars, so another major mistake related to it is not following the traffic rules and traffic signs. See, we have to unlearn the way we drive in India, especially in Delhi, and we have to respect the traffic rules in Canada. And I'm not saying this just for the safety reasons, but also because you will end up losing a lot of money. So what I mean here is that apart from paying a huge fine for not following the rules and regulations, you also get demerit points added to your driver's license. And these demerit points will increase your monthly car insurance premium. Right? I mean, imagine like in a country like Canada where the car insurance premium is already too high, like it's almost $300 or $500 per month, and then you start accumulating demerit points in your driver's license, it will just end up increasing your car insurance premium by another $100 or $150 per month. So it's like a slap on both the cheeks. Now talking about money, so a very common mistake that a lot of newcomers make is that they keep their money in a regular savings account in their bank. Now I'm not sure if you know this, but in Canada you hardly get 0.5% of interest rate on your savings account. At times even less than that. So instead of generating income, you actually end up losing money by keeping it in your regular savings account. So in Canada, you have to use high interest savings account. You have to use TFSAs, RRSP, etc. And you have to start investing your money. So get more financial knowledge, read more books about it, consult a financial advisor if you have to, and watch more finance related YouTube videos as well, just to get a basic knowledge of the Canadian financial products. And now if you're wondering what is TFSA, what is RRSP, what is high interest savings account that Nishant is talking about, then you can watch one of our YouTube videos. The link is in the description box below and somewhere on the screen as well. Now coming to job search, then one common mistake that a lot of people do is that they just rely on the online job application. Now there is no harm in applying for jobs online. I mean, one should always do that, but you should not stop there. That's the biggest mistake, that people just apply for the job online and then they just keep waiting to get a response. No, you have to find out the recruiter or someone from your connection working in that company and ask them to connect you with some relevant person or a relevant hiring manager responsible for that role. And then send that person a direct message or an email saying that, hey, I'm interested in this role. This is what my skills and experience are, which makes me a very good fit for this role. So I've already applied for this job online, but I would still want to have a very quick chat with you just to learn more about the role and the organization a little more in detail. Now this act of yours demonstrates your seriousness and your interest in this role. And if you are actually a very suitable candidate, then the recruiter or the hiring manager would definitely want to connect with you even before they review the other 200 or 250 applications. But to make this strategy more efficient, you have to first start networking. Now networking could be direct or indirect. So direct networking is basically when you send a connection request, you add a personalized note, then the other person accepts your connection request, and then you try to build a good conversation with that person. And indirect networking is when you try to build a personal brand by creating your own content on social media, primarily on LinkedIn. You try to write some insightful comments on other people's posts, right? And then you try to use this personal brand that you are creating for yourself as a way for others to know more about you. Right? I've already made a video on how you can access the hidden job market in Canada using networking. So if you haven't watched it, then please go ahead and watch that video as well. Links are in the description box below and obviously somewhere on the screen as well. Continuing on the job search topic, so another crucial mistake that you should avoid is spraying and praying. Now what I mean is that you should not spray that one resume you made to all the jobs that you're applying to and then just keep praying to God that okay, someone will respond to me and I might get a job. That rarely happens in Canada. See, I mean, I know when you see a job on LinkedIn or on Indeed on your mobile app, you get tempted to apply for it quickly by just simply hitting that apply button and then uploading that one resume that you have already saved on your mobile phone. But don't do that. You have to customize your resume every time that you apply for a job because see, each job may have some different requirements. Each company might be focusing on some specific aspects of a role. So you have to adjust your resume accordingly to make it look relevant to that particular job that you are applying to. But don't be scared. This customization is not going to take you 30 minutes every time. Yeah, I mean, in some cases it may take you long enough, but in some cases it might just take you 5 minutes to make some small changes. And these 5 minutes will be worth it. Another major mistake that I won't say a lot of people, but some people definitely make is that they either get complacent in their survival jobs or they simply just lose their self-esteem. So some newcomers and international students, when they see that okay, a survival job is helping them pay their utility bills and probably they have a survival job which helps them to get some extra tips and eventually helps them to pay for their new smartphone or something, then they start getting complacent in their survival jobs, or even worse, they simply lose their self-esteem and they start believing that, okay, this survival job is what I am meant to do, and this survival job is what I am capable of. And hence they stop looking for better opportunities which might be better suited for their level of education and experience, right? So that's why please don't get complacent in your survival jobs, and don't lose your self-esteem. Be a little more ambitious and a little more hungry. Last but not the least, don't just keep asking for help without offering any help to others. So whenever you are networking with people, just make sure that you ask them that, hey, if I can be of any help to you in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Now, I know you might be thinking that how can I help someone when I myself need some serious help, right? But look at it from a different perspective. You are a newcomer. You have already seen some ups and downs. You have already faced certain challenges. You have already gone through a cumbersome immigration process and whatnot. So you have like so many things that you can help other newcomers with. You can guide them that how you overcame a certain challenge that they might be facing right now, right? So you never know like how and when that person might return the favor to you. And not only that, when you offer your help to others, that actually boosts your confidence as well. And obviously, universe is watching. So if you help others, eventually a help will come your way too. So that's all for today, guys. If you found this video helpful, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you in our next video. Till then, take care and stay safe.